everyone, it's Hayes, and in today's video we're going to be analysing Marinette's brand new hero outfit for Renardette. I understand it's meant to be fox with Marinette, French for fox. I get it. Anyway, as always, this is just my opinion. It's going to be a very superficial analysis of the clothes Marinette is wearing. If you disagree with me at any point, that is fine. Fashion is very subjective, okay? I would never expect anyone to share the same opinion of me in anything, particularly not fashion. And if you're going to ask me, hey, what about Adrian? We'll do Adrian's new outfit for the Total Miraculous on Thursday, if that's okay with you all. So, Renardette. Overall, I love it. It's not my favourite Marinette outfit by far, don't get me wrong. My favourite is obviously Ladybug, but I still love it. And honestly, I think they did a great job with the orange on Marinette. So you're wondering what I mean by that. Marinette is cool toned, and whilst there are cool tones and warm tones of all the colours, orange is an exception because it is inherently a warm colour. It's not really a cool colour just because of just the way it is. Like, I remember watching this, doing like colour analysis is really popular in South Korea. I watched this video of it once, and this man was like, well, like, my favourite colour is orange. What happens if you determine by the end of this that I'm cool toned? And this lady just went, Yangmal, which is Korean for socks. She's like, orange is your favourite colour and you're cool toned, just wear orange socks so you can still wear your favourite colour. So I think they did a great job not having the orange clash with Marinette's skin tone, which was done by the orange not ever really actually touching Marinette's face in any way. The top of the chest is black, and to offset how red black makes Marinette's face look, which if you're wondering, that is why she looks very red in the face when she's Lady Noir, because black is a warm colour. So to offset the black at the top of the chest, they've gone for white at the bottom of the mask. And I know the top of the mask is orange, but you don't really see it touch her skin apart from in one of the corners because of her bigger fringe. So the top of the mask doesn't really touch the skin where the orange is. So for a colour that is inherently warm toned on a cool tone person, I think overall they did a great job of not making her look very red or like she was dying. And I also really love all the Chinese inspirations they used in this outfit. So we'll go from top to bottom, of course, starting with the hair. I absolutely love it. I am a sucker for a Lady Bee style hairstyle. However, it's not the same. Obviously, Lady Bee's hair is a beadrill, but I love this massive, full, high pony. I think it looks adorable, and it just looks so cute with Marinette's really full fringe. Her ears compared to Alia's are much closer together, but I do think that suits Marinette more. However, there's one thing I'm a bit like, about, and this is the ribbon in her hair. Now, I understand why it's there. It's to mimic Ladybug's ribbons. I understand it. I get the reference. However, it's just massive. And the first time I saw it from the back when we got that teaser trailer from TF1, I thought it was belts. I honestly think the outfit would have been fine with it. So I get why they've done it. It's to, you know, show, hey, I'm Ladybug, no one knows. But no, I just think it looks a bit strange and out of place. So moving down to the mask, and it's cute, very simple. It's very similar to Alia's, the only difference being is a little nose, which is adorable. And of course, Marinette has like a pinky orange tinged lipstick on, which looks amazing as well. That colour suits her so well. Onto the torso now. This is quite obviously a qipao, which is a Chinese dress. It apparently literally translates to banner gown, but obviously it's shorter here because, you know, she needs to fight in it. But obviously, you know, Natalie doesn't care about that detail. She can beat people up in a full-length dress any day of the week. And qipao do usually have slits in the side, hence there are slits in the side, and they also have a high collar, like Marinette has a high collar. However, another feature of qipao that is missing from here are frog fasteners. I'll put a picture on the screen. They do look different, they can have different styles. This is just one example, and these aren't on the qipao. Now, I'm not saying they had to have done this, but I think it would have been really cool if perhaps instead of staying with kind of like the traditional fox look, where it's kind of like a rounded white belly, which is what Marinette has for this qipao with the orange at the top, is maybe to have an asymmetrical cut in the dress where the top half is orange and then beneath the frog fastenings on the qipao was white. I think that would have looked so cool and would have made the top look a lot more interesting. And I do like the gradient on it, but I think it's too much with the gradient on the leggings. I'll get to that in a minute. And obviously the back of the qipao has been made into a foxtail for obvious reasons. So then we have the arms, which are fine. I'm not blown away by them, but I also couldn't think of anything they could have done to make them different, so I'm fine with them. And then we get to the legs. Like I said, they have that gradient, they have that ombre of colours again, but I just think it's too much when the cheapao and the leggings are next to each other. So I think I would have got rid of the ombre on the cheapao, gone for the frog fastenings to make that asymmetrical orange and white blocking, and then have the leggings go from orange to black. So just have the ombre or the gradient, whatever, on just one item of clothing instead of both. I think it's just too much next to each other. And then we move on to the shoes. Okay, without knowing what I know, I think these shoes are super cute. I love the colours on them, and they are obviously a reference to Marinette's heritage. However, they do seem like an odd choice given what they mean. So I kept seeing people on Twitter say after the episode had aired that these were lotus shoes, and I was like, no they're not. Basically, if you're unfamiliar, women in China, a very long time ago, used to bind their feet to make them small and curved. It was to show how rich they were because, you know, you couldn't walk properly if you bound your feet and made them only like 3 inches big, which wouldn't support the weight of a fully grown woman. So, you know, you could bind your feet because you were so rich you didn't need to carry out manual labour. It was seen as a very feminine thing to do, and often for these richer women it was a requirement for marriage. So, as you can imagine, this was a very sexist practice. I'm not going to show you any pictures because they're not very nice to look at, so if you want to Google it at your own risk. But basically, they would wear these teeny tiny shoes because that's how big their feet ended up being. So these aren't lotus shoes. These are flower pot shoes, or Manchu platform shoes, which was meant to mimic how these women who bound their feet walked, because Manchu women didn't bind their feet. So I'm very happy that those women didn't do that. But also, I do just think it's an odd choice that these shoes were picked for Marinette. Are they possibly reclaiming this style of shoe in China? Absolutely they could be. I'm not Chinese. I did do a good deal of research last night. There was no information available in English. Perhaps there was in Mandarin, and obviously I can't I can't write in Mandarin. My spoken Mandarin for like basic conversation is alright, but I'm terrible at reading and writing it. So I wasn't able to find anything, but I totally could be wrong. The only thing I could find of modern use of these platform shoes in China was for filming Chinese historical dramas. They don't seem to be like an everyday wear. It doesn't seem like Chinese women are trying to like reclaim these shoes for fashion and, you know, trying to fight the sexism connotations that these shoes once had. So just knowing what I know, I just think it's a really odd choice for her. Like, are they meant to symbolise kind of all the stuff with Gabriel and how he's trapping her? Maybe. But it seems weird to only show that in the shoes and nowhere else on this outfit. So, without knowing what I know, these shoes look cool. However, I know too much, and I'm a bit confused why they picked these. I totally could be wrong though. Perhaps Chinese women are indeed reclaiming them. In that case, love it. Amazing. But I couldn't find anything online. Again, it might have been written in Mandarin, hence why I couldn't find anything online. But, I'm just confused. So I do like them, don't get me wrong, but I'm like, Yeah, overall, I do think it's a pretty good outfit, and I love the way that, first of all, they made a warm colour work with her cool skin tone, and I also love all the references to her culture in it. I'm just a bit confused on the shoe selection, if I'm being honest. But anyway, besties, that's just what I think, just my opinion. I'd love to know what you'll think, and I will see you in the next one.